Roman battles were not chaotic melees, but meticulously orchestrated events combining discipline, engineering, and psychological warfare. Their success stemmed from standardized training, adaptable formations, and relentless logistical support. Drawing on historical accounts and military manuals like Vegetius's Epitoma Rei Militaris, here's a detailed reconstruction of a typical Roman battle. Pre-battle maneuvers, the campaign before the clash. Logistics and march discipline legions marched in tightly organized columns. A vanguard, exploratores, scouted ahead, followed by engineers, the main body, legionaries, baggage trains, and a rearguard, 26. Daily fortified camps, castra, were constructed, complete with ditches, palisades, and grid-like streets. Built in 2 to 5 hours, these served as supply depots and fallback positions, 26. Intelligence and terrain mastery commanders like Julius Caesar held concilia, war councils, with officers, using intelligence from scouts, deserters, and allies, 9. Ground was selected to exploit advantages, high elevation for visibility, rough terrain to disrupt cavalry, and wind-sun positioning to blind enemies. 11th February. Deployment. The chessboard of war triple line formation, triplex aces. The legion deployed in 3 lines, each with distinct roles. Hastati, front-line young troops, engaging first. Principes, seasoned fighters in the second line, relieving the hastati. Triarii, veteran reserves, a last-ditch force, hence falling on the triarii signified desperation, 610. Gaps between maniples, 120 to 200 men, allowed flexibility. Exhausted units could retreat while reserves advanced, 613. Support troops and cavalry velites, light skirmishers screening the front, hurling javelins before retreating, 13. Cavalry, Ali, positioned on flanks to prevent envelopment. Poorly regarded early on, they later incorporated Germanic Gallic mercenaries, 48. Artillery, ballistae and onagers launched stones or bolts to soften enemy formations before infantry contact, 29. Table, Roman battle formations and functions formation structure, primary role, testudo shield, wall roof, protect against missiles in sieges, wedge, cuneus, triangular spearhead split enemy lines, orb circular defensive ring, last stand when surrounded, repel cavalry shield wall with pila, dater cavalry charges 3. The clash, phases of carnage, skirmishing, and missile barrage velites opened with javelin volleys, targeting leaders and disrupting formations. They then retreated through maniple gaps, 613. Legionaries advanced silently until 30 meters from the enemy, then unleashed a unified battle cry, Baritus, to demoralize foes, 911. Pila volley and gladius charge front ranks, hurled pila, javelins with bending tips, embedding in shields and forcing enemies to discard them. The second rank threw pila over comrades' heads, 213. Soldiers then drew gladi, short swords, for close combat. Unlike wild slashing, Romans stabbed from behind shields, scutum, aiming for abdomens or thighs, 913. Rotation and reserves wounded. Hastati retreated through maniple gaps. Principes advanced to maintain pressure. This rotation exhausted adversaries facing fresh troops, 610. 4. Decisive manuevers and pursuit formation adaptations. Wedge. Small groups formed triangles to penetrate enemy lines, expanding to create chaos, 1011. Saw, Sarah. Units shifted laterally to reinforce crumbling sectors or exploit gaps, 11. Testudo. Used in sieges or against archers, shields formed a tortoiseshell overhead, 1013. Cavalry and mop-up. Once enemies broke, cavalry pursued fleeing troops, cutting them down. Romans often left an escape route to prevent last stands, then slaughtered routed forces, 911. Siege warfare, engineering dominance. Sieges exemplified Roman ingenuity, often lasting months. Encirclement and artillery. Fortified circumvallation walls trapped defenders. Ballistae bombarded battlements while siege towers advanced 913. Assault tactics, rams and tortoises. Battering rams protected by testudo formations breached gates 13. Sappers. Tunnels undermined walls causing collapses, e.g., Siege of Jerusalem AD 70, 9. 6-6. Case study, Battle of Zama, 202 BCE. At Zama, Scipio Africanus demonstrated Roman adaptability against Hannibal, terrain and tactics. Scipio positioned troops on rough ground to nullify Carthaginian war elephants. Gaps between maniples allowed elephants to pass harmlessly 35. Cavalry decisiveness. Roman cavalry, after driving off Hannibal's horsemen, returned to attack the Carthaginian rear, sealing victory 34th of July. The human element. Morale and psychology. Discipline. Decimatio, executing every 10th man. Punished cowardice. Rewards included medals, loot, and land grants. 9. Psychological warfare. Silent advances, sudden battle cries, and feigned retreats exploited enemy fatigue and fear. 11. 8. Evolution and limitations. Adaptations. Republic to empire. Shift from phalanx to maniples. 3rd century BCE. Improved flexibility. Marius's reforms, 107 BCE, professionalized legions into cohort 68. Late Empire, cavalry and federati, barbarian allies, replaced heavy infantry, responding to Gothic and Persian threats, 68. Failures, dense forests, Teutoburg, 9 CE, or desert cavalry, Carrhae, 53 BCE, neutralized Roman formations, 48th. Conclusion. The Roman way of war. A Roman battle was a symphony of controlled violence, methodical deployments, engineering precision, and relentless pressure. Victories arose not from individual heroism, but unit cohesion and adaptability, principles influencing modern militaries. As Vegetius noted, the courage of the soldiers is heightened by knowledge of their profession, 211. Rome's dominance for centuries underscores how effectively this system turned citizens into conquerors, forging an empire through calculated collective might.